Sexually transmitted infections, STIs. Wow. Oh no. Why do you say oh no? Wow. Oh yes. Sexually transmitted infections are out there, and they're devastating a segment of our population. Now, what can we do about it? I say we should dissect it. Yes, we can. Yes, we should. And yes, we will. What are STIs? First up, people contract STIs through bacteria or through a virus. According to research, STIs transmitted via virus mode cannot be cured, like herpes and HIV. But we believe that when we talk about it and bring to the fore more enlightenment, people now know the best way to move forward. Welcome to Wellness and Living. As you already know, our topic today is sexually transmitted infections. My name is Thelma Obaze. As we like to do, we want to come and learn with you. We ask you what you know. We share what we learn together so that everyone who is watching us can be better informed.
Many years back, one of my friends contracted it, and he died in the process. In fact, he bent over, and it was, to me, it's a very serious disease, very deadly.
Well, for most people I know, some of them open up, go for proper medication, and they are cured. But there are some too who shy away from them. And in case in this quote now, depending on the kind of helmet, the type of the helmet, some hide it from people, and in the end, they're going for it.
Actually, I've not heard, but I've encountered so many patients, and we've treated so many patients with STI and STD. Sometimes it depends on the actual causative organism. So the microorganism causing the infection determines the signs and symptoms the patients will actually present. Sometimes they come with complaints of painful urination, discharges from the vaginal orifice, even the men, sometimes pus and all that. So many fever is also there and all that. So it makes them uncomfortable. So if you have such, you are advised to go to the hospital. They will do some culture. If he's a man, they will do a kind of a urine culture, urine MCS, to find out the actual microorganism causing the infection. And the woman, that is what is called high vaginal swab. They will get they will get some part of the discharge from your vagina, and they will culture it to know the actual causative organism. Then you'll be placed on antibiotics to eradicate it entirely.
There's no need of being shy if you have the infection. Because if you say that I'm shy, I can't come out to say it to either the person that may help you. Automatically, you are doing a very big harm to yourself. Like one of my lecturers says that if you can lie, don't try to lie to your doctor, neither your teacher. Because if you try to lie, definitely, or feel shy, that is when you cause more harm to yourself.
Maybe when you go to the pharmacy, they'll be like, so you got it from sexual, so you got it from sex. That's what people might term you. But there's nothing there. It's better to save yourself from illness than to think about people what people will see, because people always criticize you. So it's better you come out straight, come out open, go to the pharmacy and get help.
Abstinent from sex. Then, if you must do it, I'm not a preacher of that, but I'm a preacher of the gospel. I don't preach you should use condom. Because if you must do this, I'm encouraging you to go and commit sin against the Almighty Allah, against the Almighty God. Abstinence as a youth. What is it? It's all about discipline. You discipline yourself that, look, this thing does not mean anything until when I get my right partner, I am there. For Christ's sake, it's a thing you are going to eat from now till the end of the world. Why are you in a hurry?
The big help that you do to yourself if you have such infection is to run directly to a doctor, not to the hospital, to find help, as in to find a solution to it, as in going for treatment. Because mostly the female, if you have the infection, it do affect you when, even though if it did not affect you that moment, the time of delivery, or you can hardly conceive if you don't go for treatment.
If you are not married, you actually use your condom very well, and or abstinence, you abstain from sexual intercourse. But if actually you are married and the both partner have it, you advise the both of you should just treat it entirely, and it can be eradicated. If you use the right antibiotics for it, it will actually clear it.
The ladies, your bodies are open, they are open. So you need to do much to protect yourself from this sexual transmitted disease. That you have abstained from sex is one, but what of the other ways where you can contact it? So my advice is be careful, be cautious, be neat inside, out, and you will run away from these things.
It is best to prevent it. But when it does occur, what is the best positive step to take? Get treatment. Get treatment from the right source. And as we have come to learn, the more sexual partners you have, the more vulnerable you are to contracting sexually transmitted infections. Do you know about the ABC? The A is for abstinence, which we know can completely prevent STIs. What about the B? We are told that everyone who is sexually active should be faithful to one partner. Let's move forward. There's a C, and the C is for condom use. Sexually transmitted infections. These are infections transmitted through sexual contact, just like the name implies. They can be caused by bacteria, viruses, or parasites. And oftentimes, people contract STIs through anal, vaginal, and oral sex. Examples of STIs are genital herpes, human papillomavirus, syphilis, gonorrhea, HIV, AIDS, and lots more. STIs can be prevented by taking vaccinations, using condoms, and most importantly, abstaining from sex whenever possible. Like the much used cliche, disease not a show for face. Translating this local parlance to what everyone can listen to and understand is to say that some people may have diseases, but it's not obvious from just looking at them from the outside. So prevention is oftentimes the best method of cure. Research shows that promiscuity enables sexually transmitted infections. That is, when you have many sexual partners, you are vulnerable to contracting sexually transmitted infections. It has also been detailed by medical professionals that sexually transmitted diseases can be passed to unborn babies through their mothers while their mothers are pregnant. There are some symptoms of sexually transmitted infections that we can observe and be vigilant about. Some are dark urine, loose light-colored stools, yellow eyes, and skin. Sore throat for those who perform oral sex, vaginal discharge for women, penile discharge for men, ulcers on or around the genital area, unexplained fatigue, night sweats, and weight loss. Many ignore some symptoms, hoping that the disease and infections will disappear. That, though, we have come to learn, is hardly the case. The more likely outcome is that the disease will escalate and become deadly. Sometimes, research has shown that some STIs occur without symptoms. That is why everyone is encouraged to have regular checkups. Nowadays, we hear about female condoms in addition to the condoms that already existed for male use. Some sexually transmitted infections can be cured, like those caused by bacteria. But STIs caused by viruses like HIV or genital herpes can be cured. They can only be managed. So it goes without saying that early detection and concerted, accurate treatment gives a better outcome, especially when you can escalate prevention methods by using the ABC. Mokokoma Mokwana. That's a man's name, and he's an African. But it's what he says that interests us on Wellness and Living today. He says that before you get sexually active with anyone, assume that they are HIV positive until they have done a test. So exercise patience before you pick a partner. Some people find out a little late, but it's best to be prepared. Arm yourself with adequate information. Your health, remember, is your best wealth. But we can learn more. Dr. Ebuta Agbo is always doing outreach work. What does he find when he talks and interacts with people? What kind of treatment does he say that people can use when they have sexually transmitted infections?
Out there in the community, it's like a jungle. In all sincerity, a number of the kind of clients we see when we conduct those outreaches complain of symptoms that are in keeping with sexually transmitted infections. So things like genital ulcers, more classically vaginal discharge, chronic low abdominal pain. Some come with complications and they tell you, I'm married, I'm unable to conceive. Those are complications of maybe poorly attended to or even untreated sexually transmitted infection that have blocked the tubes of the womb. So to a large extent, and the challenge again is that most of the clients we see on some of those outreaches are actually very young people within the age bracket of 15 to 25. These are most times not married, they are sexually active, they are highly mobile, they are more likely to engage in experimental activities, and they are less financially capable. So to a large extent, it's easy for them to be preyed upon. Some of them are orphaned, they are left to fend for themselves, where bread and butter is something that is a luxury, water is difficult to even come by, food is unimaginable on some days. You can imagine that they can sell some of their privileges for just mega payments, and most times some of those people who engage them would not want to use protection for some reasons. They think that the younger prayers they are praying, the younger people they are praying on are less likely to have sexually transmitted infections or HIV to a large extent. So to buttress the point, it's a significant problem in the community. Follow-up is a big challenge. Insurance penetration is very low. So sometimes all you can do most times when you're on outreaches is to do what you can in terms of medications. And we do not have the luxury of screening certain forms. We can screen for HIV, hepatitis B, but you do not have the luxury of doing cultures, for example, for chlamydia, for gonorrhea, and doing testing for syphilis, which are cost intensive and may require 2 to 3 days of testing if you are looking at culture to a large extent. What we can offer is what we call the empiric treatment for sexually transmitted infection, necessary advice, provision of condoms for those who have met the age or to give consent for sex, and then early referral. So we do a lot of linkages with other community health workers, other health facilities. So we kind of advise people, okay, look, we'll put you on medications. This is likely to sort out most of your health challenges, but you still have to go to a primary health center, for example, a general hospital, for example, for follow-up. Give antibiotics to them, depending on the syndromes we can identify, because syndromes of sexually transmitted infection come in clusters. So you're able to say a discharge is likely if it's a certain color, if it's a certain characteristics. It's possible it's gonorrhea. If it's clear, it's possible it's chlamydia. If there's a genital ulcer and it's not painful, maybe it's syphilis. If there's a genital ulcer and it's really, really, really painful, maybe it's Haemophilus ducrei. If there's a genital ulcer and it's all over the place and it's matted, maybe it's lymphogranuloma venereum. So in terms of, and then if you have tiny ulcers that are recurrent and are painful, maybe it's herpes simplex. So we use a lot of clinical skills to judge what those symptoms are and to cover patients appropriately with antibiotics. we are in a society that is mainly paternalistic, and to a large extent, most times in most relationships, initiation of sex is expected that is the man who does it most times, because of the, I mean, most times if a lady is trying to initiate sex, our cultural, our peculiar cultural environment does not smile at that, as opposed to the other way around. So acceptance of female condom has been bugged by many factors, which has also been cultural. Like the studies have shown that some men have a perception that a woman who has a condom and is going around with a condom is maybe more sexually permissive. Community governments should be able to come up with policies that will lift people out of poverty. Poverty is a critical factor. Policies that would deepen knowledge on sex education, that is critical too. Policies that would increase access to health care for sexual and reproductive health, because that's what we're talking about. Policy that would deepen insurance coverage and allow people to walk into health facilities and obtain some of these services, advice, health education at ease. At the individual level, people should be encouraged to abstain, to be faithful, and to use protection where necessary, because that appears to be the only effective way. Where you have abuses within families, you have abuses within communities. Some of those ones can be dealt with by social reintegration, social restructuring. Areas that have had social dislocation, there should be measures to ensure that those triggers where people would exchange sex for little favors are not allowed, and people who are in those positions to give those favors are prevented by clear policies from undermining the good intention of some of those programs. In terms of personal hygiene or personal interventions, it is important that once anybody notices anything that he or she does not understand happening in the genital area, it's important to seek for health care, because, for example, young ladies who may get sexually transmitted infection most times may not even have any symptom, or may have some symptoms they neglect. This can have long-lasting implications for their reproductive life. It can lead to a shutdown of their tubes and their inability to conceive normally, requiring in vitro fertilization and the rest. Apart from that, exposure to human papilloma virus is one of the most important causes, which is sexually transmitted. It's one of the most important causes of cervical cancer, which is among the first 3 killers of cancer killers in our environment. So this again is something we really need to look into and to see how we can intervene. But early treatment, seeking for proper care at government approved facilities is one of the best intervention individuals can take at their level once they notice any abnormal symptoms in the genital area.
Wellness is integral for reproductive health. And oftentimes, when people are sexually active, the result is a baby. Kids come when we are active. That's the only way we can bring kids to bear. Okay, so now you're active. Are you exercising? We are not saying, and research is not saying it as well, that when you exercise, you can prevent STIs. But what has been proven time and time again, that when illness devastates you, if you are fit and you are well, you stand a greater chance of making a full recovery in the shortest possible time. So what say you? Let's do some workout together. It's always great to have you join us. It's Wellness and Living, and Dr. Jane Orizo is here with us today. We're talking posture. Tell us how. Planking, you said?
Most of the time, people just focus on doing abdominal exercise just because they want their tummy in. But they are not thinking about the fact that there is a balance. There are things called the core muscles, which are your lower back muscles and your abdominal muscles. Now, I love planking because planking targets your core muscles. You're not just working on your abdominal muscles, you're also working your lower back muscles, which gives you a better posture.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Wow, that was super fantastic. Great. Up and down. We'll do another 15, right? Okay, so we start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We're done. We did the normal plank you used to, and then we pulled ourselves up, came back again and balanced on the elbow. What a way to go. Okay, so now for the legs, right? The right leg, we take it 5 times. So 5, 5, one after the other. Okay, let's go. Right leg first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. They say good things come to those who wait, okay? And also do good things in small doses. Get a hang of it before you go for 20 or for 30. So what's the last one? We go on the basic planking, and then right hand, and then left hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, we're going forward now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. It's been great working out with you. We've been doing the planking and we've had different variations. Let's do it again. Enjoy your day. From Dr. Jane, it's bye-bye. Bye. Bye. Everyone who is around at this time, everyone who is living life, wants to make positive impact. They want to leave a legacy. They want to be remembered. And the best way to do so is when you set goals and objectives. Set them very high. Continue to raise your standard. Continue to achieve. But you can only do this when you are well. Protect what you have. Own your body. It's yours. It's a gift. But you have a responsibility to keep that body well. How well are you handling that responsibility? Today, our focus is on sexually transmitted infections. Many people will hide it. They hope it will heal itself miraculously. Some don't even observe changes in their body. They're not vigilant. And when they ignore changes in their body, sometimes the result is deadly. Observe your body. Own it, work on it, exercise, eat right into your body, grow its wellness, grow its well-being. Thank you as always for spending time with us on our social media platform, Wellness and Living at Nigerian Television Authority. Please do so again and again. And Ehi, we've not heard about you for some time. What's up with you? Please do come into our chat room and share some information with us. My name is Thelma Obazi. I'd love to do this again, but I have to go now. For now, it's bye-bye.
Slavery is an evil practice abolished all over the world over 200 years ago. But today, human traffickers are selling human beings as slaves in Africa. It is your responsibility to make sure that you and the people you know do not fall into slavery. Don't believe fake promises of jobs abroad.
People went to say Libya, Italy. Italy no use you when they carry me on top water. 4 days now they lock me for inside house, no food, no water. I nearly die. Now God, when me heaven and earth, now save me. If you get 1 naira for Nigeria, you get junior one, you say you no get papa, you no get mama, now make you come out. I beg go they do farm work. You better pass person when enter road.
Don't accept to travel to Europe through the Sahara Desert. You may be walking into slavery. Don't be a slave.
This is a public service announcement brought to you by NTA.
NTAE brings you the best of entertainment.
I thought I was being sarcastic.
I went on to do other productions.
Everything music.
Hear what which one you say.
If you look at the platforms of
for a particular product.
They call a new school playing.
That's in the hot, we go carry
the hair go come and
got the smell.
Somebody sad, you feel it.
I love you,
just a little. I know this. Chop, they are already washed.
To a president.
They depended on you.
What else can I do? Get a shower cover and dancers.
Watch these programs and more on NTA Entertainment. NTAE, your one-stop entertainment channel.
Nigerians. Suicide bombers are not spirits. They are not ghosts. They are human beings like you and me. They live amongst us. They are your neighbors. They are your friends today, but terrorists tomorrow. So you must know your neighbor now. Security begins with you and me. Know your neighbor. Be vigilant. Be security conscious. Report suspicious persons, objects, and movements to the police and other security agencies. The security of our nation is a duty for you and me.
If you see something, say something. Nigeria, unite against terrorism.
This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture.
NTA, you can't beat the rich.
This is the network service of the NTA.
You will have to jump off a cliff just knowing that you will not crash.